Guys, we got another green one. Let's go turn that grime into shine. Guys, welcome to another exciting video, and in today's episode we are going to be downstreaming a house together, and you guys see how tall this house is. It's actually sitting on a really weird slope, so it makes it a little bit more difficult, but also you can see there on the screen exactly how grimy it is. So, but before we get into today's episode, I wanted to get two quick announcements out of the way. Number one, something I've been talking about, guys. The Power Wash Expo happens every year in Orlando in the beginning of the season, right around February. It's actually going to be on the 22nd, 23rd. So next week, I am going to be there. I bought my tickets like 4 or 5 months ago. So if you're anywhere near the Florida area, I would definitely recommend you go to that. I'm going to put the description to the expo, not the description, I'm sorry guys, the link for you to be able to get your ticket in the description below of this video. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk about with the expo is that, it's a great opportunity for you guys to do some networking. It's a way for you to be able to meet some of your content creators, such as myself. There's going to be other content creators there as well. I know, for example, Jason Guyman. You guys know him as the king of pressure washing. He is going to be there. He's actually one of your keynote speakers. But also, you're going to be able to learn a lot in this expo. There's a lot of classes there and a lot of great speakers. And then also, pretty much all your main vendors nationwide are going to be there as well. So anyway, hopefully I get to meet you guys there. I'm excited about it. I'm going to be doing a lot of interviews there and covering the event for my channel. Announcement number two that I want to get out of my way is I got my 100th episode coming up, guys. It's the very, very next episode. In that episode, I am going to be answering 10 questions from you guys. So make sure you flood the comment section and make the questions really good, because I am going to pick the best of the best to talk about it on screen. So, and then the other thing I wanted to talk about before we do get started on this house wash here, guys, is that you always want to know, or I always want to tell you guys, I should say, that how I picked up this job. Now, you can't tell here on screen, but actually about 20 yards to our right here, we did a house here with one of our coaching students a few, I want to say it was about maybe a month ago, maybe 5, 6 weeks ago. But anyway, so when we did that house, we did the 5 arounds here. You guys know I preach this a lot. We love the 5 arounds. And you guys got to make sure you're doing that. Your 6x9 postcards, 5 arounds. But anyway, that's how we picked up this job here. He was the left neighbor to where we are. We put a flyer in his door. He called about a week later, or maybe 2 weeks later. We were able to schedule him at this time. Came out here with my helper Jamie that you see on screen there, and we knocked this out. But so let's get this in, get into this a little bit, guys. If you want to know the equipment that we're using, Jamie and I are actually using the same rig that is featured in our episode 1. So you can see the equipment there. Now, as far as chemical goes, I talk about this all the time. We're using a 50-50 mix. And you can actually see the breakdown of how we, Mr. Bubbles, make our chemicals in episode 10. Okay, so I suggest you go back and do that, because we're not going to really be talking that much about chemicals here. That's why I have a whole episode dedicated to the exact subject. But anyway, so whenever you're doing a house wash, guys, you go through the same procedure. Remember, as you grow in this journey, you want to get to a point where you're very systematic with the way that you do things, right? Which makes sense. But anyway, so the way I do every single house wash is the same. Step number 1, you want to sauce it up. Step number 2, you want to come through and you want to spot treat. And finally, step number 3 is you want to rinse off the house. Now, before you leave, the walls, the windows, and plants have to be chemical free. That is the goal. And that's what you saw me do here, or not me, but Jamie, my helper. You saw him saucing up that really green wall. We move to the back. So what you want to do, guys, you always want to start at your dirtiest side first, because that's where you want your chemical, your SH, to sit a little bit longer. So typically, your typical house has 4 sides, right? So you want to start on your dirtiest side, then go to the second dirtiest, third dirtiest, and fourth dirtiest, which is what you see us doing here. And this house here in the front was mostly like 90% brick. Did not have any organic stains at all. We did touch up the front of the house a little bit, but like I said, there was really nothing there to remove. There was no organic stain. There was actually no stain of any kind in the front, but we did touch up the window. I think one of the windows had bird poop on it, but so anyway, that's what you see us doing here, going from ground to gutter. It's something I mention all the time. You want to start, whenever you're downstreaming, whenever you're saucing up a house, you want to start from the bottom and work your way up with your fan tip, then switch to your shooter tip to get the all the way up there, in your fascia boards and your gutters and all of that. But anyway, you guys can watch us work here. It's pretty self-explanatory. Of course, if you have any questions, you can always feel free to email me. I share this with you guys all the time. My email, ask@mrbubbles.com. It's also going to be in the description below if you don't remember it. But also, what I really wanted to talk to you guys about, right, is pricing. So, we're coming into 2024. Well, we are in 2024. When I say coming, a lot of you guys are going to be starting your companies in 2024. Some of you guys are going into your second, third year. Guys, the number one thing you want to make sure that you get 100% right is you want to get your pricing right. Now, I've often mentioned this before, I think in other episodes, that I believe that the number one mistake that new guys make, okay, whether when they're just starting out or they've already started, but let's say, they have less than 3 years in the industry, to me, the number one mistake that new guys make is that their pricing is not right, okay? So you need to make sure, if you are very serious about going down on this journey, right, about starting and having a successful pressure washing business, you want to make sure that you get your pricing right from the very, very beginning. Now, I think I mentioned this maybe 3-4 episodes ago. So one of my coaching clients named Alex, he and I, we put together a guideline for you guys, a pricing guideline that is really easy to follow. I actually got it printed out here in front of me, and I can actually email you the PDF. It's only 2 pages, and it breaks down for you, for example, soft washing pricing, house washing, downstreaming price, gutter cleaning price, deck cleaning price, concrete cleaning. So, again, guys, this is not going to be your end all be all, right? It's not going to be like 100%, but it's a good jumping off point for you guys, because you guys will be able to eyeball it and say, hey, you know what? This is this is more or less of where I want to be. And so, this is very important. Oh, you know what? Before I go on, guys, so we're coming to the end of the phase of the soap phase. I think we spot treated maybe off camera the other side a little bit, had maybe 2-3 spots, but here very soon here, we're about to switch to the rinse phase. I just wanted to make sure you guys knew what was going on screen. So, but what I was saying, about the jumping off point, guys, one of the things that you want to do when you look at this list, and again, I'll email you guys. It's a PDF, so you guys you're able to know what it is that the professionals, nationwide, what the baseline is, right? And what you don't want to do is you don't want to be below that, right? No matter where you are, whether you're in Florida, in Texas, in California, in New York, etc. I actually just had a meeting a few months ago up in in the New Jersey area. I got some of those interviews coming out. I went up there to network with some guys up there. And I mean, their pricing up there, guys, is like next level. And you can imagine it's, things up there are more expensive. But, my point is, you want to make sure that you guide yourself in such a way that you are running a profitable business. Guys, at the end of the day, this equipment, maintaining the equipment, the chemicals that we buy, the back end stuff, taxes, employees, if you want to have employees at some future date, marketing. I mean, the list goes on. I could literally sit here and name 100 different things that you're going to have to, save money to be able to invest and spend money in. These, I mention this quite often. COGS, COGS stands for cost of goods and services, have gone up. Guys, I mean, it's just in the last few years, it's like ridiculous. I think I mentioned this at the beginning of my season when I was doing videos with you guys that, I was shocked. My SH price here in Maryland went up from the beginning of 2023. I'm sorry, the beginning of 2022, we were paying like $1.98 for a gallon of SH. And then in the beginning of last season, I was so shocked when the bill, the company that gives us delivers our SH, they bill us once a month. I was shocked to learn that the price went up to like 389. 389. So basically, I mean, it doubled in price, basically, from one year to the other year. So, you want to make sure that you take all of these things into account, guys. Like your chemicals have gone up, your price of your uniforms have gone up, price of your equipment constantly breaking down, your hoses, your fittings, all of these things are very, very, very costly. And so you don't want to be in a situation where you're going out there and you're doing work for cheap, right? I say this all the time. It's one of my favorite things to say in the channel. Skilled labor ain't cheap and cheap labor ain't skilled. Let me repeat that. Guys. Let that be your mantra. Skilled labor ain't cheap and cheap labor ain't skilled. If you want to be a true professional, you need to make sure that you are charging accordingly, because you got to think about this right now as well. You don't just need money for today and to pay your costs and your needs and to take care of all your the pricing of your company today, but you also need money to invest in your company tomorrow, because you're going to need to wrap your vehicles. Right now, you guys are investing in a lot of free forms of marketing, like the things we talked about, the Google My Businesses, or the inexpensive forms of marketing, like your boots on the ground that we talked about, face-to-face marketing, and your sales pitches and all that. But sooner or later here, guys, you're basically going to max out all your free or inexpensive forms of marketing. You're going to pluck all of those low-hanging fruits from your market. You're going to eventually need to invest in different forms of paid marketing, whether it be Yelp, Google, or Facebook. And the bottom line is you're going to need money for that, right? You're going to need money to upgrade your equipment, money to upgrade your vehicle, money to upgrade your marketing. So, I highly suggest that you guys, really look into that. Really, really, really look into that, because like I said, it's the number one mistake that a lot of new guys make. In the beginning, they're just so excited. They want to get work and they think, oh, if and I get it, right? We all get it. What happens is, in the mind of a new guy, they think, well, in my old job, I used to make $700 a week. Now with this house washing, I can make $100 in an hour. So the problem with that frame of mind is that you're not taking into account all of the things that we just talked about, right? When you're charging $100 an hour, or $100, for example, to do a house wash, $150 to do a house wash. I think I've mentioned this before. Well, actually, I've mentioned this a couple times where there's a local guy here in my area in Southern Maryland where I am that he's been putting out about 400 or 500 yard signs a month. And his yard sign, just say pressure washing any house, $150, phone number. You see what I'm saying? So that guy right there, he's not going to be in business for very long, right? Because what's going to happen when his truck breaks down, when the transmission goes out, or man, when for example, he has a problem with the client and he has to pay for damaged plants or siding, or you think a guy like that has insurance? Come on, let's be real, right? So the bottom line is, you want to be able to be in a situation where you're running a professional outfit, right? Where you have all of these things. And in order to get there, you're just going to have to raise your pricing. Maybe you don't double it or triple it from where you are right now, but you better get your prices up there, guys, because professionals, I would say, we're around the $400 to $600 range. I know the guys up in New York that I was talking about, they're in that $700 and $900 an hour range. And but I've always focused on being in that $400 to $600 range. Like when I go out in the field, I want to be making $400 an hour. Right. So make sure that you get your pricing right, because again, guys, think of it like building your business, right? Like building a home. Right? You're the very first step is a solid foundation, right? Makes sense. You don't start building your home with the roof, right? You need a solid foundation. And part of that solid foundation for you guys when you're building a business is you need to make sure that the pricing is right, because that's not something you're going to be able to change down the road. Once you've built your business, you can't go back to your customer. When your customer calls you next year and they want their house washed again, and you charge them $100, you're not going to be able to charge them, $299. They're going to look at you like you're crazy. But if the year before you charge them $250 and you say, hey, the cost of goods and services, COGS, the cost of goods and services have gone up, and we went up in our pricing, people will be okay with the $50, a change, from one year to the next year. So make sure that you guys are taking that into account. And guys, by the way, here, if we go back to this house wash, you're going to see us, now we're rinsing off all the windows, all of the siding, and then you're going to see here at the very end how we put about 10 seconds of water on each plant here, a lot of bushes in the front of the house. So you just want to make sure, like I said in the beginning, your house, your windows, and your plants are chemical free. And I've mentioned this a lot. We usually put 10 seconds of water on each window. Okay, so that is how you do a house wash. Now, so going back to pricing, like I said, guys, 2024, we're going to be talking in the next, within the next 10, 15 videos or so, we're going to be talking a lot about this stuff. I'm going to be basically be talking to you guys about 3 essential things that you got to get right in 2024. Number 1, you got to get your marketing right. Right? So, my channel, Mr. Bubbles, that's one of the things that I preach a lot, and I talk a lot about marketing. That's why I always tell you guys, go back in my archives. If you haven't done so already, watch episodes 51 through 59. It's my marketing series. That's what it's there for. It's going to teach you, how to get customers, target marketing, even things like how to optimize your Google My Business. So highly suggest that. Number 2, what we're talking about here, and we talked about in this video, pricing. We're going to talk about this a lot. Pricing, how to price out jobs correctly. And then the other thing is we're going to talk about growth. And this is, something that is the essence of my channel, is teaching you guys, giving you guys resources for you to be able to grow and develop yourselves, right? So that's why I want you to get your pricing right, because, you guys email me and you reach out to me, and, you guys want all these really nice equipment. But the problem is, if your pricing is not right, guys, you're never going to be able to get to a point where you're going to be, you're going to have that awesome rig. You're going to be able to upgrade your equipment. You need to have a solid financial foundation for your company in order to achieve this. So, highly recommend you guys take my advice. Again, guys, I will email you this stuff. You guys know, I mean, I email hundreds of you guys email, and I interact with you guys during the month. And you guys, I send you, marketing blueprints. We just got finished. What is it called? The trailer build blueprint, right? I think I've sent like 400 or 500 of you guys, something like that. The trailer build blueprint. I will send you this price guideline PDF so you can, exactly know where you need to be. One of the cool things that's on there, I remember Alex and I were talking about this. It's actually got a pricing chart, like a little graph for you on what to charge for gutter cleaning, something that you guys reach out to me quite often to ask me about that. But the bottom line is, guys, that's what the purpose of the Mr. Bubbles channel has always been, right? To give you guys resources. Guys, come on. I wish when I started Mr. Bubbles 12 years ago, this March, actually, I'm 2 weeks away from celebrating my 12th anniversary as a company. But 12 years ago, guys, I didn't have all of this stuff like you guys have, all of these resources. You got social media. It's so much easier today to get customers because the world is so much more connected. So, you guys reach out to me and you ask awesome questions. And right now I coach, a lot of guys. I coach guys in Oregon and Idaho and Texas. I mean, all over the country. And by the way, guys, if you're interested in having a mentor, it's something I highly recommend, something I do talk about once in a while. Reach out to me. I love that. I think I was probably born really to be a teacher of some kind because I love, I'm just really passionate about teaching people. So I absolutely love that part of seeing you guys grow. That's why I decided to do the Mr. Bubbles channel, is because I want to see other people create, exactly what it is I created. But that's it, guys. Going back to the house wash again, guys, you just soap it up, then you spot treat it. Then you got to make sure at the very end you rinse everything properly. Make sure you rinse your plants because they will die. But that's all I got for you guys today. I really appreciate you coming to my channel and watching this How to Downstream a House video. Highly recommend you guys watch the next one as well. Guys, in the next episode, episode 100, we're finally here. I'm going to answer all of you guys' questions, 10 powerful questions that you guys are going to leave me. And I'm excited about that. And like I always tell you guys, I always answer all of you emails. Please reach out to me. Love interacting with you guys. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bubbles out.